Hey guys, Political Junkie 2414 here, and welcome back to a brand new video. Today we're going to be talking about Speaker Mike Johnson, the motion to vacate threatening his job amid conservative backlash, and generally the seemingly inevitable power vacuum in House Republican leadership come next year. But before we start, if you like content like this, make sure to smash the like button, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and turn on notifications so you don't miss another one of my videos. So recently, Mike Johnson has seen himself over the past 6 months, it's been a difficult time for him as speaker, and there has been this talk of him facing the same fate as Kevin McCarthy, being pushed out of the speakership midterm or just giving up his job at the end of no at the end of this congressional session, and the leadership battles that would come in November after the elections. But Johnson, in the face of a revolt from conservative hardliners, mainly Marjorie Taylor Greene, who filed the motion to vacate about a month ago, um, Johnson has now passed Ukraine aid with the help of Democrats, and a lot of Democrats seem to be on board with keeping him as speaker. I'm just kind of speaking without a script right now, but I do actually have a script right here, so I should probably use that. Just kind of wanted to give you the lay of the land if you haven't been paying attention to politics for the last couple of weeks. But yeah, Ukraine aid has been passed. That's been the main underlying issue. And it seems like Marjorie Taylor Greene's motion to vacate is going to be triggered soon, probably next week when the House returns from its 1 week recess. So, yeah, if well, let's just get into it. I mean, the House GOP's chances of retaining the majority in 2024, which have already been endangered by the historic dysfunction that has plagued Congress for the last year, would be further weakened by Mike Johnson losing the speakership as a result of this motion to vacate. Already 3 Republican representatives have signed on. Not to mention, it's likely more Republican hardliners will support it because many of the um, because the 3 people that are supporting it, Green, Thomas Massie, and Paul Gosar, are part of, the right flank of the Republican conference, which includes a lot of other people who have been critics of Johnson but haven't publicly committed to voting to oust him, at least not yet. So just 3 Republicans defecting would be enough to force Johnson out of office, unless he gets a group of Democrats to save his job. And some Democrats have signaled they'll protect Johnson after he let the House vote on Ukraine aid, but others are waiting for direction from House Democratic leadership before making a decision. Also, I'm getting all of this information from these Politico articles. There is a third article that I reference and that I will include in the description down below if you guys want to read any of these, but I'm just pulling these up. I got all this information from there. Um, so yeah, before we make any, so yeah, I just wanted to say that really quickly. I was going to, reference it at the end, but just wanted to do it now too. Johnson's standing with the GOP base and within his conference would be weakened if he depended on Democratic votes to stay in office. Republican hardliners would have suggested they could keep forcing ouster votes, and Democrats would repeatedly have to decide whether to bail Johnson out. Um, which would further erode the speaker's position within the House GOP and with the House GOP and increasing the likelihood of turnover in leadership after the House elections. And even if Republicans stay in the majority in the next Congress, Johnson may still struggle to be elected Speaker or even the top House Republican again, thanks to intra-party opposition, some of which is outside of the Freedom Caucus. And some GOP critics plan to wait until after the elections to take action against Johnson. If Republicans lose the House majority under Johnson's watch, it could be the final nail in the coffin of his tenure as the top Republican in the House. For now, most in the House GOP want to focus on winning in November and wait to settle any differences with Johnson until after Election Day. But Green's motion to vacate is prompting speculation about a shakeup in leadership, regardless of whether it occurs before or after November. So, some House Republicans, and the article that I'm mainly going to be citing from here on out is this one at Johnson's most vulnerable point. Yet GOP sees potential successors jostle. Um, so that this is the main article where I'm going to be getting the remainder of my information from. And this is all speculation. But anyways, let me continue. So some House Republicans speaking anonymously to Politico have reported signs of fellow top members, including House Majority Leader Steve Scalise, Judiciary Chair Jim Jordan, and Majority Whip Tom Emmer, planting seeds to run for the top post in the future. Most House Republicans view Steve Scalise, the first of the GOP's four nominees for Speaker in their October saga to replace Kevin McCarthy, as the strongest threat to Johnson's future. Some House Republicans who witnessed Scalise's complicated relationship with McCarthy see a similar dynamic between him and Johnson, with one Republican claiming that Scalise has been knifing Johnson in the back, or has been knifing Johnson since the beginning. Scalise has dismissed the speculation, but unlike Jordan or Emmer, has not explicitly ruled out running against Johnson in the future. And then when it comes to Jim Jordan, who was the second House, the second GOP Speaker nominee in the future, or in October, in the October fight for the gavel after McCarthy was ousted, um, he's received encouragement from Jordan's received encouragement from allies in the Freedom Caucus to mount a challenge to Johnson, especially if Democrats win back the House majority. He has declined to run against Johnson, but some House Republicans have noticed that Jordan has voiced his disagreements with Johnson's decisions as Speaker in front of his colleagues. During McCarthy's reign, Jordan didn't make these sorts of comments around other members. So if I can just pull it up, if I can find the quote, I want to make sure that I'm not using these quotes without showing you them. Um, Yeah, despite Jordan's public disavowal of any interest in a challenge, he has raised some eyebrows since Johnson has become Speaker, with some remarks he's made in front of colleagues behind closed doors, according to Free GOP members, including remarks along the lines of, the way I would have done it is, or the Speaker should have done. Those types of remarks, these people noted, didn't happen in front of other members when he disagreed with McCarthy on policy matters. You're seeing Jordan just get really adamant about certain things that he wouldn't have been under McCarthy, said a second senior House Republican. Um, so that is a sign that Jordan is more frustrated with Johnson than he was with McCarthy. Or maybe he just feels more what's the word? More inclined to speak out, more comfortable speaking out with against Johnson than McCarthy. More comfortable speaking his mind among other members. And yeah, this was the quote for Scalise. I wanted to make sure that I don't think I did. I put that in quotation marks, or kind of said that it was a quote. Just kind of said it in the middle there. So that was the first quote. Anyways, to get to Tom Emmer, who has also been the subject he's also been the subject of speculation. Um, After Emmer voted against overturning the 2020 election results in the wake of the Capitol riot, Donald Trump killed Emmer's bid hours after House Republicans chose him as their third Speaker nominee in the October debacle. However, Emmer has since positioned himself for a second try at the top job at the top job in the House GOP in the future by endorsing Trump earlier this year, and then the former president surprisingly returned the favor. There are rumors of other House Republicans throwing their hats into the ring for the top spot, as Representative Andy Biggs in an anonymous Republican claim. However, this article does not specify the identities of these potential candidates. Um, some other contenders, just to name a few that I thought of, may include House GOP Conference Chair Lee Stefanik, who is the number four, the fourth most, or the fourth highest House Republican. There's also Republican Study Committee Chair Kevin Hern and Representative Byron Donalds, just to name a few. But the main point of this video that I wanted to the reason I wanted to make this video uh, was because of this likely power vacuum in the House GOP that is coming. I mean, to sum it up, Mike Johnson's days atop the House Republican Conference appear to be numbered, whether he ends it by being ousted before the conclusion of the 118th Congress, like Kevin McCarthy, um, whether he relinquishes his position at the end of the year after the House elections, or if he loses his place in leadership to a challenger such as Scalise, Jordan, Emmer, or another Republican. Don't get me wrong. There's still a chance that Johnson remains as the top Republican after 2024 in the House. But the position in which he finds himself in which he finds himself currently requires him to be mindful of every move he takes from now until November. And as we found out with Kevin McCarthy, it doesn't take much for a GOP speaker to lose his job, to lose their job. Um, so yeah, this is a much shorter video than is usual for me to be recording. I usually take a very long time, but I wanted to make sure that I had my thoughts just really organized. And while I kind of stumbled a couple of times, I think the script really helped me. I've been meaning to do that for you guys to make sure that I come prepared and I'm not just blabbing and taking up 20 to 30 minutes of your time. So I'm glad that this video was only around a little more than 10 minutes long. I got my point across, and I want to hear from you guys. I want to hear what what you think about this whole dilemma with Marjorie Taylor Greene's motion to vacate, and how you think the remainder of 2024 is going to play out for the House GOP. Do you think that it could be that's just kind of a broad hook for you all. If you guys want to tell me if you think they're going to maintain House control, or who you think is going to succeed Johnson as House GOP leader, if I'm correct in assuming that he doesn't, uh, he is not, that he's no longer the top Republican in the House after November. Yeah, I mean, I just want to hear your overall general thoughts, because I've kind of been thinking, I know I haven't been uploading as much, but it really seems like no matter what Johnson does at this point, he really is screwed. Because if he relies, as I said, if he relies on Democrats to keep his job, that's going to alienate um, a lot more conservatives, some of who might not be the typical um, firebrand, bomb throwing Freedom Caucus member, but some similar conservative who may not be as much of a hardliner, who um, who might feel alienated and may not like the direction that the leadership that Johnson is providing for the House GOP. And so, but again, if he doesn't reach out to Democrats at this point, he's also screwed. And either way, I really do think that Mike Johnson is not going to be able to be, is, I think that he's going to survive this motion to vacate personally. I do think that more House Democrats or that there will be a good chunk of House Democrats who vote to save him, and a good chunk of House Republicans, even beyond Gosar, Green, and Massey, who vote to oust him. But I think beyond that, Johnson can make it to the end of this Congress. Will he? I think so, but I think beyond that, he is probably going to step down from leadership, or be kicked out of leadership by a challenge from Jordan, Emmer, Scalise, or someone else. So thank you all so much for watching this video. Make sure to subscribe to the channel, hit the like button, and share the video with someone who you think would enjoy it. And if you want to read the political articles that I referenced in this video, scroll down to see the links in the description. I'd love to hear your thoughts about on this whole dilemma with MTG's motion to vacate and how you I think I already said this actually, and how you think the remainder of 2024 will turn out for the House GOP. I mean, yeah, I just said that again. I think I got a little disorganized in my thoughts. But again, thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you all next time when I talk about all things politics. See ya.